Good Saturday afternoon, everyone, and welcome to sunny and very warm Moncton, New Brunswick for day one of the WNBA's, pardon me, I did it already the first time, MWBA's Weekend Showcase in the Hub City. My name's Dave Tingley, and I'll be your host for all 6 games of this really exciting and important weekend in year one of everyone's new favorite Atlantic Canadian pastime, really, the MWBA. Maritime Women's Basketball Association. So welcome to you from wherever you're joining us, and I hope you enjoy every second of the action today. To show you that the show these women have put on for everyone has already surpassed expectations on the floor, and everyone from the caliber of the players to the teams, the referees, the owners, everything has done such an amazing job. This has been tons of fun to watch, and we are glad that everybody in the league is joining us here for this weekend in the Hub City. I think it's surpassed everyone's expectations. I was talking to some of the coaches today, and no shade on the players. Everyone knew how good these players were, but I think the level of play has even surprised the players and coaches. I think they've knocked the rust off a lot quicker than a lot of them expected to. The caliber of play has been top-notch in every way. Even the lid's been on the basket for some of these games a little bit, so that, you're not going to see a lot of 100-point games if you look at the past box scores, but what you're going to see when you watch is high caliber offense, getting really good shots, running the floor, spreading the floor, post play, defense, the whole 9 yards. So I hope you guys enjoy it. I'm going to stop and pause for our in-house announcer doing our Andy Sharp doing our introductions. Thanks very much, fans. We'll see you in a minute.
This territory is covered by the treaties of peace and friendship. So to get things started, we're going to have our national anthem sung by Bethany Robertson. If I can ask you to stand on your feet or remove your hats and caps. Thank you, Bethany. Okay, folks, now we'll do our... And we're going to start with the visiting Halifax Thunder. I know our crowd's a little thin today, but do we have anyone cheering for the Halifax Thunder out there? Anyone traveling? All right, here's your starters for the Halifax Thunder. From Acadia, number 2, Edgar Haley. At forward is homecoming from Riverview High School, number 7, Dr. Vanessa Pickard. The pride of Grace Mountain High School, number 14, Edgar Grace Wade. From St. Mary's University at forward, number 15, Laura Orangel. From Acadia at forward, number 22, Elizabeth Beals-Assi. And now, the starting lineup for the Fredericton Freeze. From UNP, number 4, Megan Arsenal. From UNP, number 6, Leah
All right, fans, so here you go. In case you missed those starting lineups, for the Fredericton Freeze, it's Megan Arsenault out of Lakehead and UMB, Leah Bowers, the player coach from UMB, Nicole Essen and Grace Simpson, also UMB, and Emily McLeod from Acadia and UMB. Lots of UMB content there. Now these missing for the Fredericton Freeze this weekend, Rashida Atkinson, Ashley Bond, Katie McAfee will be here tomorrow, and Caitlin Mangold and Kylie Speedy are out also for Fredericton. Setting the lineups for the Thunder as we get going off the opening tip. The Thunder, and it is Haley McDonald running the show as she's done so capably throughout this season, and she will continue to do next year in the AOS. And a big quick turnover there. Aaron pass for Megan Arsenault. It's going to go the other way. So setting the lineups for the Halifax Thunder, we have got Haley McDonald out of Acadia and played pro in Germany in her year off. We'll get into that as the game goes on. Vanessa Pickard out of St. FX and McMaster and Riverview High School, where I coached her brother, and we'll get into that a little bit. Maybe he's listening out there. If you are, Anthony, what's up? And Grace Wade out of UMB, hometown favorite as well, a McNaughton graduate. And Laura Langell and Elizabeth Beals-Isiemi out of Acadia, and Langell, of course, out of SMU. So this is lather, rinse, repeat for the Thunder. This is an undefeated team who is down some people that we're going to talk about in a second as Laura Langell puts that ball on the floor and gets it in the paint, and she's going to go to the line for two. So missing this weekend for Halifax, and you're going to, as Ellen Hatt is a big part of the play off the bench. Of course, you could say about anyone that plays for the Thunder. That bench, they go 12 deep, and we'll talk more about that. Leslie Hocko is missing Justine Colley-Legier, and I know the league sends out a big shout-out, the whole league, myself, announcers, coaches, players, everybody, hoping that she gets better soon. That didn't look like a fun injury as Langell goes 2 for 2 at the line, and McDonald brings it back the other way for the Fredericton Freeze. We're hoping for the best out of that injury and that she recovers quick. But I know everybody will see her. I'm sure she'll be there for the championship weekend in Halifax one way or the other, cheering on her teammates, and hopefully that's a more minor injury than it looked like. Jada Vino and Abby Dunker will be here tomorrow. So Halifax that depth is going to be tested today. They've got tons of it, and they'll need some people to step up in the absence of particularly Dunker and Colley-Legier. But this is somebody who's capable of it, that's for certain. That's Grace Wade. She penetrates a shot from the baseline from Beals-Isiemi is off and back the other way come the Fredericton Freeze. The ball swung around neatly. Back up top. Sorry, fans, a little problem with my voice there. And their hookup. We're good there now, though. Thank you. Haley McDonald back the other way for the Freeze. Get out the kinks early, Tingley. So fans, join me on Instagram and Twitter. I'm Hoops Tingley in both places. Come find me, say hi, let me know where you're watching from. Let's have a discussion today about this great fledgling new league and these amazing women and players. As up for three is McDonald. It's long, rebounded, and back the other way comes Nicole Essen. 2 feet in the key. She kicks the ball and driving hard and going up for two is Grace Simpson, and she's going to go to the line. Now, fans, forgive me. The Freeze, I love you as your organization, and I love your uniforms, but these numbers are going to trip me up again. I've watched many games online. I've got these girls down pat. I know who everybody is. But those unis, those numbers, as an old man sitting courtside, I'm going to get something wrong every now and then. But Grace Simpson up and down for two. Ties the score, two apiece, 8:13, clock running first quarter. Langell up the floor to Pickard. Can't leave her open. She's going to nail it every time. Hand down, man down, as Mark Jackson would say. You got to get a hand in her face. She's been making shots like that since I watched her play Riverview Middle School. McLeod now, she's going to drive, spin, wheels inside. She's got a flurry of moves, uses them all, but just a little off on and long on that one. Crossover from McDonald. She loses Arsenault, gets the ball into the corner. Swung back up from Wade to McDonald. Pretty look over the top to Grace Isiemi, but she can't. Beals-Isiemi, pardon me, she can't handle it. And it's a turnover the other way. Essen's going to attack on the right hand. Stripped by McDonald. Going back the other way. Wade with a spin move. Decides to retreat. and then attack. Into the corner to Pickard. She's going to pop a three. You can't let her get that shot off without a hand in her face. It's an automatic. She's 2 for 2, and the lead 6-2 now, 7:09, clock running first quarter. Arsenault using the screen of McLeod. She gets into the lane, up and in for 2 and 1. She's going to go to the line, try to make this a 1-point game early. So fans, we talked about how this is a chance for this Thunder team to go 8-0 in league play. We talked about their depth is going to be tested today, but they've got it. You talk about losing, someone like Justin Collier-Legier, and you could step in with Beals Asiemi, not quite as dynamic offensively, but super tough and a crazy defender, an excellent penetrator, and a developing face-up game. We know she's been working on that jumper, and it's coming along. If she adds a dependable, consistent one, forget about it. It's over. McDonald in and out with a really tough left-handed shot, offensive rebound back to her, and you can't give up offensive rebounds. Dr. Quackenbush collected that one and got it back out to her teammates. She knew right what to do with it. Sometimes those dangerous threes, or most dangerous ones, are off that kick out. A turnover now by the Freeze back the other way. Inside to Beals Asiemi, and she lays it in. Amongst everything else, they're also deadly on the break. In case you thought you were going to get a break from the Thunder that way, nope. They're going to hit you quick off turnovers and rebounds. The ball swung all the way over. Attempted bank three is off. And back the other way. And you gotta stop the ball. They don't stop McDonald quickly enough. She gets her into the key, and amongst her many talents is getting to the line. And she's gonna do that. More substitutions in. You're gonna see all these teams in this hot gym on short benches. They're gonna play everybody today. And into the game for the Thunder. Melina Collins out of X. I'm going to try to get all of these substitutions, fans, but by myself, it's not always easy. So forgive me in advance. Tamwine, by the way, is also into the game for the Freeze. Not missed three earlier was Katie Daly is on the wing. She's into the game. Simpson penetrates. Essen up for three. Back rims it. Rebound by Tamwine, who's the player of the game in the first exhibition game in this gym in the history of the league for the Freeze. Was tremendous in that game against the Mystics in this gym. Swung from Daly, up for two, and short. That's got to be a violation. It is, and referee Reg Caulfield waves it off. He's joined today by Brent Stalker and Jeff Smith in the stripes, and it's a turnover right back to Fredericton. Bailey Black also in the game for the Freeze, number 7. Essen trying to kick it in, and she does to Daly. Daly on the right-hand dribble against Marley Kerwin, also into the game for the Thunder. And a nice move from Tamwine. She wheels and deals and gets the friendly roll. 12-7 now, 5:22 clock running first quarter. And on the attack is Kerwin. She gets 2 feet in the key. A little too deep for McDonald. Quackenbush, she kicks to the corner. Baseline penetration. Back out to Kerwin, up top to McDonald. She's going to pop another three, and down it goes. Good penetration there on one side by Melina Collins. And a 1-2 pass to McDonald, and she hit another. And the lead's up to 8 now for the Thunder. Tamwine on the face-up. She hands off to Katie Daly. She's going to try one. It's off. Rebound. It comes down to McDonald. And she looks to push, and she does. Look at that, up to Quackenbush. She's going to lay it in with the left hand, and timeout. Fredericton Freeze. And it's a double-digit lead early here in this Harrison Trimble High School gymnasium for the Halifax Thunder. So fans, lots to talk about with these teams, and we got to start with who's been one of the best players in the league, if not the best so far this season. That's Haley McDonald. She is diminutive but hellacious as a floor general. She's second in the league in scoring at 18 a game and is surrounded by deep and talented and tough stable of teammates here with the Thunder. They can run end-to-end the way we've talked about. They can execute you to death in the half court, and they defend. And it's been just a joy to watch this team play. on the live streams. And on that note, shout out to my partners down there with the Thunder. Alan April does a great job, and I know I've listened to a couple of games. Jen Lloyd McKenzie on there. And if I missed anyone else that's joined Alan on those calls, because I haven't seen quite every game this season, but pretty close. But if I've missed someone, let me know on Twitter and Instagram there, fans. And Bill Gibson, of course, for the Freeze. He's been doing a great job up there in Fredericton, just as he does with Stu. But this team for the Thunder also, we got to highlight two members of the U Sports Top 100 Women's Basketball Players of all time. We've talked about Dr. Quackenbush Catherine, family doctor down there in Halifax, and also Justine Collier-Legier, who's not going to be available this weekend. But when you've got, a nice steal there going back the other way for Grace Wade. She misses, but she is fouled by Katie Daly, and she's going to go to the line for 2 shots. Pardon me, Bailey Black on the foul, excuse me. Team's third, her first. Grace Wade to the line. But yeah, when you miss Justine Collier-Legier and you don't look like you're missing a beat, that says something about the quality of your team. So Pickard, Beals, Siemi, Grace Wade, I mean, these girls all are capable of picking up the slack, as is Marley Kerwin, who's going to see probably more time as well. And a nice rebound almost in there by Langell, but ripped away. And coast to coast now, up and in for 2. And that's Robbie Daly. Yes, excuse me. God, these numbers. I knew it was Robbie, and I couldn't quite come out with it because I couldn't see the number. Didn't trust myself on that one. Up, in and out there. The long 2 is Marley Kerwin. Back the other way, come the Freeze. Up to Tumwine. She pops. She doesn't finish. And a nice rebound in there. Well done by Gemma Bullard. Her first minutes on the floor for the Thunder. And up and in for 3 is Melina Collins. A lot of these players, you look at the scoring list, come in, you look at, she's only averaging 4 or 5 points a game. But that's the way it is with some of these teams. They're so deep, and they play all their players that sometimes everybody just takes turns being double-figure scorers and being the supporting act to some of the quote-unquote superstars that have shown themselves out in this league. So, yeah, we got their 18, 19, 20-point scores in this league, but we got a lot of good players. You look at the list going, they're only averaging 4 or 5 points. Well, in those games that they step up, they really step up. Up and in for Tumwine for 2 on a nice pass from Robbie Daly, who had a 3 on the previous possession. So the Freeze showing some life here. 21-14, 3:01 clock running, first quarter. Nice backdoor cut and a nice kick to Grace Wade. She comes up short on the 3, but run down there by Bullard. Back to Wade, swings it, and a nice penetration in the left hand by Marley Kerwin on the finish. So much talent, so much. These girls share the ball well. The style of play is beautiful to watch. Going to use a screen up there at the top is Daly. She's going to stop and pull a 2. Miscommunication there, almost on the rebound for the Thunder, but pulled in by Wade. She's going to swing it all the way over. So, comes back to Wade. And on the post up inside, Bullard's going to try to go to work. Nothing there. She tries to kick it and turns it over. Daly up to Daly. Daly to Daly. She's going to pull up as Robbie, and she knocks it in for 2. Robbie Daly sparking things off the bench for the Freeze. 7 quick ones. Kerwin doesn't have it. Pulls it back out. Looks for a screen from Langell. She sets a good one. Rejects it. Roll to Langell. Good hands and good feet. And she's going to look to go to work, and she does. Just comes up short. Off of Tumwine out of bounds. Wholesale substitutions for both teams. Little hockey subs for both the Thunder and the Freeze. Back in's McLeod, and we haven't talked much about her. She's the key to make the engine go. Missing Katie McAfee today, by the way. Fans of the Freeze, I know you're looking for. She'll be back tomorrow. Let's see if that was touched. It wasn't. Back to the Thunder. Good looking to push, as all these teams do. All these teams play at a really good pace. You're not going to be bored watching these games today or tomorrow, fans out there. Such good pace these teams play at. When you got And the key to that is if you examine the rosters for the teams as inside on the catch but fumbled out of bounds. McDonald gets it knocked out but stays with the Hornets. Pardon me, the Thunder. I'm going to do that more than once, Halifax fans. Excuse me. Oh, and a nice out of bounds play. Wade wide open, too easy. Little miscommunication there defensively from the Freeze. Robbie Daly over to McLeod. Run a lot of stuff through her, do a lot of dribble handoff like that and roll. Beautiful stuff. She's got a lovely jumper. Just in and out that time, but it's going to stay with Fredericton. Good crash on the weak side there. Up top to, almost a turnover. No. Yes. Wasn't quite able to save it over there. Was Megan Arsenault. Unfortunate. McDonald now. Pickard running interference. And they're going to call her for, oh boy. Good sell job there by Megan Arsenault. I love it. Pickard trying to run a little interference and got caught. Mackenzie Legier, by the way, into the game for the Freeze. Looked like happy feet from McLeod. Got away with it, but missed the turnaround. Rebound from Bielsa-Siemi. Bailey Black did a good job turning her, but she got the ball up to Quackenbush. And is that going to count? No, it's not. Before she was in the shooting motion. So 25-16, 40 seconds remaining, first quarter. And the opening game of the MWBA's Weekend Showcase here in Moncton, New Brunswick. Welcome to the Hub City fans. Again, I'm Dave Tingley, Hoops Tingley on Instagram and Twitter. Please say hi over there. I'll check it when I can. The action's been fast and furious so far in this first quarter. I haven't got a chance to check yet. Smile on the face of Bailey Black. She was going for the swipe in there. Trying to make life a little more tough on Haley McDonald if she can. I get the instinct. She's been burning them so far. And I think Bailey Black's taking it personal. And that is the team's fifth foul. Not the time to take it. Pardon me, it was on Grace Wade, excuse me, not McDonald. For Fredericton comes into this game off a big 4-point win over their Route 101 rivals, the St. John Fog, last Thursday. They even their record at 3-3. So again, fans, 7-0 undefeated are these Halifax Thunder. And 3-3, Fredericton fighting for first place on this side of the bracket, the New Brunswick side. And that's a physical defense there from Haley McDonald. She gives as good as she gets. I used the word diminutive before, but she's ferocious, not just offensively with the ball in her hands getting into the paint, but she is the same way defensively. She's going to take a seat to end this first quarter, give her a break. They're going to need a lot of her today. A little bit of a shorter bench. Always smart, Coach Parker Regan, to get her a little extra break. The dribble handoff action. Nice little fake handoff there from McLeod. Kicks to the corner to Arsenault. Arsenault, a little awkward little dump pass in and a turnover. That was a tough catch in there for Mackenzie Legier. Bielsa-Siemi, head of steam. Grace Wade didn't want the three. Oh, nice look inside, and Dr. Quackenbush leaves it short, gets her own rebound. Catherine Quackenbush wheels and deals at the buzzer. That one's going to count. Pushing that lead back up to 12 now at the end of the first quarter. 28-16, Catherine Quackenbush wheeling and dealing. One of those two Halifax Thunder teammates I mentioned that made the U Sports Top 100 women's basketball players of all time. They announced a couple years ago. I think if they redid it now, you'd have to include, there'd be three of them on there. You'd have to include the name of Haley McDonald at this point. There's no doubt about that. Now she is going back, took a year off, played some pro in Germany, coached a little bit at her home high school in Horton, but she's going back and playing next year. And that's going to be, she's going back to the AOS. So that's going to be, AOS fans are going to be really happy to see her back in that league, back at Acadia, and that's going to be an exciting team to watch under Coach Len Harvey there at Acadia next year. So yeah, I didn't finish my thoughts on Fredericton and their state of affairs. So their point guard Katie McAfee not being here today is going to make things a lot tougher with the strong backcourt. But they got down double figures early here, and I was concerned this was going to be pushing out into a blowout here for the Thunder. They're coming off a 28-point victory over the Halifax Hornets, which was a sight to see. Even though Collier Legier went out early, they stepped on them, and I was worried that the Freeze were going to get stepped on, but they fought back well here. And with McLeod back on the floor after an early foul, I think this second quarter is going to be a huge for them to get themselves back in. And so Katie McAfee being back tomorrow is going to help the Freeze in their efforts. But because with her and Katie McAfee, that pick and roll partner, Emily McLeod, that pick and roll partnership they have is so pretty to watch, and they make such good decisions. And so McLeod's going to have to be a bigger part of the offense than she already is today. But we saw Robbie Daly come in and do some really good things, 7 quick ones, and she's on the floor to start this second quarter as well. Joined by Tori Janes, Emily McLeod, Katie Daly, and for the Hornets, or for the Thunder, good grief. Stop doing that, Tingley. For the Thunder, well, we'll get to them in a minute. Let's join the action. A missed, almost rimmed back in there. First miss from Robbie Daly, and another rebound. Deals to Siemi, and she can push just as well left-handed and right-hand. She stumbles a little bit there, gets it back out to her partner, McDonald, and they're going to run things. The high post, they run a lot through the high post on Quackenbush when she's in the game. You see why there. That nice look. Gets it right back out, in and out. Rebounded by the Freeze. And a little reach in there from Marley Kerwin. And I'm missing the 5th player here for the Freeze fans. I'm going to figure it out in a second. These uniforms, and I'm going blind here in my late 40s. Wheels and deals inside and up for 2 points. Back come the Thunder. We've got a uniform. We got a numbers issue here. Sorry, fans. I'm missing somebody, and it's a numbers issue. I'm going to get back to you, Freeze, here. I'm going to straighten that out. First chance I get, I'm going to single somebody over here. We've got a discrepancy. Somebody's wearing a uniform number that ain't on my list, which happens every now and then. I thought we had the numbers straightened out, but we'll get back to you, fans. So whoever that was that scored for Fredericton. Is that Jill Durling? That is Jill Durling. Pardon me, fans. I should have known that. Miss Durling's on the floor for the Freeze. That 55 is hard to read. And Catherine Quackenbush. 2 points for her, and she pushes the lead back to 12. All right, I'm straight now. Got everybody I know on the floor. There's that dribble handoff action, kept by McLeod. She can pass it along with everything else. Nice little crossover move, takes Quackenbush in the lane. Tries to find Robbie Daly, just a little bit out of reach. Turnover, back come the Thunder into Kerwin in the corner, and up top, and and a look inside for Pickard. Just missed. Long pass, it gets there, up for 3 points on the bank attempt. It's no good there from Katie Daly. And a pull up and a follow, trying to follow her shot as McDonald. She knew was going to miss right away. Tried to reach in and get a steal, nothing there either. And back comes the Freeze. They're swinging it all the way around. Inside, nice little curl screen. Nothing, can't go that time for Robbie Daly. Beals to Siemi's body check there at half court, and it's gonna be checked on the side to the Halifax Thunder. And we're got another hockey substitution for the Thunder and for the Freeze. Wholesale subs. And Beals-Siemi is going to check it in now. 12-point lead, 7:13 on the clock, second quarter. Grace Wade uses the screen. She gets into the key. Goes up against two and is bumped. And she's going to go to the line. Leah Bowers back in the game also for the Freeze. And the first one goes for Haley McDonald. And rims in the second. Pardon me, Grace Wade, excuse me. Rims in the second. 2 for 2 at the line for her. 32-18, 7:04. Clock running, second quarter. Thurling comes all the way around. And back again to Tumwine back in the game. She's going to set a screen for Daly, and it's knocked out of bounds. Katie Daly. They got to differentiate the Dalys. Her sister is off the floor now, so if I say Daly, you know who it is. Tumwine. She bowled over. Jevin Bullard didn't get a call. No complaint to the referee. You see that in this league too. What a crossover. But Beals-Siemi isn't able to finish. Back comes the other way. And a nice kick ahead pass to Essen. She's got to run it down though. Brings it back out to Bowers. Handoff there again. Essen, she's going to have a wide open three. Rims out, but Tumwine, she chased after it after setting that screen. Nice hustle from her, creating space in there, and she lays it up at him. 32-20 now. 6:12, clock running. Second quarter here. Harrison Trimble High School Gymnasium, Moncton, New Brunswick. Beals-Siemi, she's going to try a three. She's been working on that shot, and you can see why. You can see the results. Everybody says if she gets a consistent jumper, that's the end of things for her opponents because she's got everything, all the other tools in the bag, and you've seen her make the three on a fairly consistent basis. These last few games for this Thunder, her performances have been tremendous, and she is a load to handle off the bounce, and she is a terrific defender. Arsenault now keying in the, starting up the defense. Over to Essen. Simpson looking for it. She's back in the game. Essen drives. Can't lay it in, but runs down the rebound. Good hustle from Essen. Looks inside to Tumwine. She's got that little turnaround. She loves that shot. She can make it all day. Established position. Hit that shot. And now we've got a timeout from the Halifax Thunder. This leads down to 13, so Freeze are doing a great job here of keeping this within shouting distance. That lead went to 10 double figures real early, 17-7. And they've done a terrific job keeping things interesting here and keeping things within reach. So Tumwine off the bench has done yeoman's work. The bench has been really the story for the Freeze. So I had a lot of Collie Legier notes that I was really the biggest tragedy of her injury is me wasting all these notes that I can't talk about her. I mean, that's really the sad part of that, fans. I know you'll agree with me. But no, without Justine Collier this weekend, it's going to be, you thought maybe a tougher task for the Thunder, but you see the depth, and it's being tested today because they're without her. And if you joined us late, it's not just her that they're missing. They are also down Abby Dunker, Jada Vino. So these are names that and names that, especially when they join the Thunder team tomorrow, are going to be going to make them even more of a handful. So let's see who the Freeze are bringing back out on the floor to the timeout. Pretty much the same squad that went into the timeout. So halfway through this second quarter, this end of the second quarter is going to be very key to the Freeze. At the end of quarters and halves, it's a cliche, but it's a cliche for a reason. It's a huge thing for your team. And Langela, she kicks it to the corner. Freeze coming out in the zone. Good close on Gemma Bullard, but along with everybody else on this team, she could step out and make that shot. She's confident with it, and she drained it. Tumwine sets a screen now for Daly. Hand off to Simpson. And a bit of a reach there. Looks like on Beals Siemi. Oh, on Gemma Bullard, pardon me. Her second team's third. Side out. And the parade of substitutions continues. As Parker Regan's doing a lot of hockey subs, along with John Hickey on the sidelines today for Fredericton. Joined over there by Julie McAllister. And Parker joined by Marissa Lundquist today. And Eva Tamwine, I didn't see it. I got blocked out here briefly by fans and referees, but I'm going to presume that it was a very nice move and a travel and back to the Freeze, and they're going to get a chance to shrink this lead back down from 14. Hello, Reg. How are you today? How you doing, Reg? Referee Caulfield just giving me a hello. So even though live on the broadcast, I felt compelled to give it back. And nice whirling dervish finish inside from Grace Simpson on a nice wing feed from Megan Arsenault, and this leads back down to 12. And in this zone, you got to watch for shooters, and they're going to try to shoot them out of it. Pickard started off hot, hadn't got a ball in her hands recently, but she's got a quick release along with everything else. And that was better defended than her first two jumpers, but she doesn't need much space to get it off. And if you're the Freeze, you got to be careful. They can shoot you right out of this zone pretty fast. And nice hands there from the Thunder defensively. Tipped out from Bailey Black. Back on the floor for Fredericton. And back to the Thunder. Haley McDonald. Quackenbush at the top of the key. Her home. Back rims a jumper, though. And back comes Nicole Essen on the push, but a travel there. Yeah, dragged the foot. Reg Caulfield acted it out for Coach John Hickey, who doesn't agree. But the unblemished record of referees never overturning their calls continues into its, 100th year at this point. Attacking on the left is Kerwin. Gets it inside. Picker's going to go up. The Freeze felt they were straight up. And Simpson, I sympathize. Oh, it's on Tamwine, excuse me. So Simpson and I were right. Just want to establish that. I was correct. Simpson was not the guilty party, but Pickard, I mean, could that release look any prettier? And the announcer's jinx. But Quackenbush on the rebound to Pickard, back to Quackenbush. Oh, beautiful backdoor. Oh, that was a shame there from Melina Collins. Nice cut. And she felt her teammate, Marley Kern, was staying in that corner for the open three. Just a little miscommunication. Right idea. Resulted in a turnover there. Simpson fumbles, but comes back and picks it up. Does Nicole Essen. And another turnover. Quackenbush slows up on the attack. Ooh, that's going to be going the other way. Referee Brent Stocker had it as a block, but Jess Smith on the other side, he saw it as I saw it. She might not have been completely still, but Catherine Quackenbush lowered the shoulder a little bit there. I think if she hadn't quite gone to that extreme, she might have gotten that call, but well done down there defensively from Essen, and she forced the turnover. She's going to attack on the right hand. Nice cut from Simpson. Nice feed from Essen, and that's two. Grace Simpson now. A spark off the bench for Fredericton. Back to 14, and they're hanging around. Pickard, though, she's going to put a stop to that. I mean, it's just automatic today for Vanessa Pickard. Flamethrower from three. And as the in-house announcer, and the best in the business, my friend Andy Sharp said, from across the Petticoat, actually threw that one in, and the hometown girl from Riverview across the river, she is automatic today. I went into shock when she missed that free throw, back rimmed it, but she's made everything else she's looked at today, and it's becoming a real problem for the Fredericton Freeze I don't know if they can stay in that zone with the likes of Bullard making threes, Quackenbush at the high post creating, Pickard in the wing. I mean, it is a pick your poison situation with these Thunder, even when they're down three or four players. So it's a tough one when you're coaching against the Thunder and they're making their shots, and they are making their shots here today in the Harrison Triple High Gymnasium. So fans, thanks for joining us. I want to thank Aurora Productions for putting this on. Let's go there for sure. And we want to get in, and also haven't done this yet. We want to thank the founding partners. We want to thank Royale. We want to thank Medivy, and the work that they've done, the work that all the sponsors have done, and we'll get into some more sponsors as we go. But particularly Royale and Medivy stepping up and just saying, we love the idea. Here's the support, and without them, Royale and Medivy, this league wouldn't be where it is right now. So kudos and thank you to them. Essen running the screen and roll with Simpson, who's gotten great results so far. Grace Simpson had that one knocked out of bounds. It's going to stay with the Fredericton Freeze. And keying it in is Katie Daly up to Megan Arsenault. Inside of Tumwine. She's going to look to go. She's going to spin into traffic, but gets it up. Missed. Arsenault in there collects. She can't finish. Tumwine is out of reach, and it's rebounded by Marley Kerwin and coming back the other way. Pickard attempted to get it inside to Beals Assayemi, but it was knocked free. Nicely done there by Tumwine, and we're going back the other way for free throws, it looks like. Yes, for Tumwine. Ava Tumwine likes this gym. She was terrific, as I said earlier, in the exhibition game in this gym against the Mystics. Was the player of the game for Fredericton, and she's showing her stuff again today. She's got a good face-up game. She's tough to handle on the boards, sets a solid screen. And you could say that about, well, there's 3 or 4 members of pretty much every team in this league you can say exactly that about, but she's the force that way for the Freeze. And she made her first one, lead down to 16, 2:09 remaining on the clock, second quarter. Misses, run down by Langell. Bullard now, back to the safe hands of Haley McDonald. She crosses over, can't beat. Bailey Black out top. Nice little action there, and it's in up to Langell. Langell looks to backdoor it to McDonald. Good catch. She spins and fires. Langell follows the shot, but fought for and won by Ava Tumwine, and she's going to look to push the pace. Up to Megan Arsenault, over in the corner, and up for 3, and down is Bailey Black. And that was deep, and another timeout for the Hornets, or pardon me, for the Thunder. And again, Coach Parker Regan seeing some things he doesn't like, and again hanging around. It's 16. You know, could be a worse situation if you're a Freeze fan. If you're going to go into, you know, if they can win this last minute 35. Oh, pardon me, it's down to 13. Excuse me. I had a feeling. I think the score is closer than that, and it was. So 13, they've got the lead back down to. If you can get it to 10 or 9 here before the break, with the hot shooting of the Halifax Thunder so far in this game, you got to feel like you're in a pretty good place and right where you want to be, and not where you want to be against an undefeated squad. But this game could have been pushed out and got out of hand, but Fredericton's kept it in check, and they've been stung by the long ball. But other than that, they've defended McDonald pretty well in the penetration. She's got her share in there, but it's been a good effort defensively since the Thunder came in and scored 17 pretty quick. So back on the floor is McLeod for the Fredericton Freeze. Robbie Daly on the floor. Bailey Black, Grace Simpson, and Megan Arsenault. And a turnover now for Thunder, unlike Wade and McDonald on the backcourt on the miscommunication. Not like them, but they give the Freeze another chance to creep a little bit closer. Checking in. We'll be checking that ball on the sideline is Black. Gets it to McLeod. To Simpson. McLeod looking to carve out some space. Bailey Black now. Got to swing it all the way over. Robbie Daly inside. Now McLeod, they're against the clock. She's going to sweeping right-hand hook, Kareem style, but off the back rim. And rebounded by McDonald. She's going to bring it back the other way. Great defensive possession there from the Thunder, but another turnover. Back comes Simpson. Gets it in the hands of Arsenault. She's going to attack. Well defended there by Kerwin. But a nice up and in three by Emily McLeod. A long three there, and now, like I say, it's back to 10. If they can win the last minute now, it's going to be single digits. I presume that was McLeod fans. If I was wrong, again, I had a referee in front of me, and Wade's going to try to stop this run, and she does. Big three from Grace Wade. Knocks it down. The lead's 13. Arsenault's going to push the pace. She's going to put it up off the backboard. No good, but go to the line. Marley Kerwin, and I talked about the pace that these teams play with. It's an entertaining brand of basketball, fans. If you're gonna, the score, and today's is a pretty high-scoring game. Even when these games haven't been high-scoring, the pace that these ladies play at, and the shots that they get themselves off of sharing the ball well, passing well, fundamentally strong. These players are all fundamentally strong and get themselves good open shots. It's always an entertaining brand. And I was talking to some of the coaches too about how it's, in a lot of ways, it's different to watch than the guys' game because of the added element of the post player. A lot of these girls rim run, get themselves under the hoop, make themselves available, and don't let themselves get pushed out. There's lots of 5 out, lots of threes, don't get me wrong, but they've got that added element of the post player that makes it a different brand of basketball a lot from the guys. And that's a long three, rebounded by Arsenault. They can hold for the last shot. And they're going to have 2 shots at the line. So they don't get a chance to hold for the last shot, but I think they'll take the 2 free throws. And Megan Arsenault is going to have a chance to bring this back into single digits. Halfway through this quarter, the lead was creeping up. The lead's gotten up to as far as 16, 17 points, 16 I think. Side rims the first though. Makes the second, down to 10. 17 seconds left on the clock. And the Freeze extend that defense again, trying to make the Thunder work. They've done so. They've wasted about 7 seconds of that time. Now, Haley McDonald's going to have to go to work. She pops a 3 and makes it. In your eye. Haley McDonald pushes that lead back out to 13. McLeod at the buzzer. And that's a big one. Wade and McDonald stepped up late in that second quarter. Silenced that run of the Freeze, but still, if you're a Fredericton Freeze fan out there, you got to be pretty happy. 51-38 is the lead as we go to the break, fans. And that was, and again, the Thunder were threatening to run away with things, and the Freeze just kept coming back. And that's the toughness that's typical of these 6 teams in this league, and we're going to see a lot more of it in the second half. So, fans, thanks for joining me for the first half. I'm Dave Tingley again. Join me on social media on Instagram and Twitter at Hoops Tingley. Let me know where you're watching from, and I will see you in 1450. Welcome back, fans, to our first game of the WNBA's Jamboree weekend here in MWBA. I did it again. MWBA's Jamboree weekend here in Showcase weekend in Moncton, the hub city. I'm Dave Tingley. Find me online at Instagram and on Twitter at @HoopsTingley and have a convo if you want. So halftime of our first game here, 51-38, the Halifax Thunder over the Fredericton Freeze, and that was a very entertaining first half. Both teams playing at a great pace end to end, and the story was just more long balls from the Thunder, basically, was a lot of the story, and Vanessa Pickard reining them in from all over the place, and of course doing her part, Haley McDonald. But we also saw some long-range shots from Gemma Bullard. Melina Collins made one. I mean, the tough thing for the Freeze, if you're a Freeze fan right now, is what defense do you play to keep the Thunder in enough check so you can score enough to get back in this game? It's a tough needle to thread because you want to play your game, but these Thunders can score in so many ways on all three levels, and it's just they're just a handful to stop. So fans, it's going to be a fun second half, and I'm glad you're with us. And this is an honor to be broadcasting these games for the Maritimes Women's Basketball Association the first year. And it's going to be the Halifax Thunder to key the ball in here to start the second half. And it's Grace Wade. She's joined by Haley McDonald, Gemma Bullard, Laura Langell, and Vanessa Pickard, red hot in that first half. For the Fredericton Freeze, it's Leah Bowers, Megan Arsenault, Grace Simpson, Eva Tumwine, and Nicole Essen. Ava Tumwine. Dribble handoff motion at the top here. Bullard hands off to Wade. She's going to use that screen. 2 feet in the key. Beauty pass to Langell. Man, the caliber of point guard play across the league. We're going to talk about multiple point guards on each team that are able to run the show. Drop dimes like that. Wade on the rebound now. Gets it back to her partner, Haley McDonald. She's on the attack. 2 feet in the paint again. Into the corner. Running back the other way was Grace Wade. She thought that one was down. She was pulling a Steph Curry. Not even looking. Assuming her teammate would make it, but a little long there was Bullard. Nicole Essen on a nice wheel cut. Gets blocked from behind, though, by Bullard. Run down in the corner. Looking for a tie-up. She's not getting it. Now it's a 5-second call. Excellent work there in the corner by Bullard and McDonald. The tendency is there to reach in. They didn't do it. They just let the 5-second count run out from referee Jeff Smith, and they're going back the other way. So a little bit of token pressure here again from the Freeze. Able to break it easy as are the Thunder, and Grace Wade just crosses over, puts her head down. Not 2 shots. They're going to call that. Rich Caulfield's going to call that before. No upward motion yet. Into the corner to Pickard, to Langell. She's going to face up. She's got a bevy of mood she goes with down there, but nice defense from Tumwine. Gorgeous stuff there, moving her feet. Back comes Bowers, handoff to Essen. Tumwine, passes it at the feet of Simpson. That's a tough one to handle. It's a turnover. So 15-point game now, 8:26 clock running. McDonald on a good 1-2 pass out from Langell. And on the attack this time is Gemma Bullard. Didn't have the 3. That pass was tipped. And she went on the attack, and it was effective. And Grace Wade just rips the ball away from Megan Arsenault. Goes back the other way. Arsenault did a good job on that penetration, but did not protect the ball. And if you don't protect the ball against Grace Wade, forget about it. It's going back the other way. Donald, clips Essen on the screen there. Essen, good hustle getting through there. Tumwine denying the ball to Langell and pokes it out of bounds. And yeah, John Hickey saw the same thing I did, talking about a little bit of a chicken wing on that screen to Essen. Donald comes up short. Tumwine with a nice box out. Good push up to Bowers. Nicely done from the Freeze. Attempted Euro step from Simpson. Oh, well defended, but she got the roll anyway. Beautiful stuff and nice defense from Bowers. Forcing the turnover and back to the freeze. Just when you think every time the Thunder threaten to pull away, push that lead up to 16, 17, 15. Back come the freeze fighting back. So there's no quit in these Fredericton Freeze. Not that there's any in any of these 6 teams. These girls play hard for 40 minutes. You talk to these ladies and you see their social media posts. They are so thankful to have a place, a competitive place to play now that isn't your regular, for lack of better terms, the guys call them beer leagues. I don't know if the ladies call them the same thing, but that's what we call them. But, this is a super competitive league that these girls can play in. It's scratching such an itch. You can just tell for these girls when you talk to them, these ladies when you talk to them, scratching such an itch, not just for the university players whose seasons are done, but these women that haven't played in 5-6 years or had an injury. There's so many stories. Jenna Jones, we're going to talk about in the next game, so many stories of women that took 4, 5, up to 15 years off from the game. Again, there's going to be another story for the Moncton Mystics game next up, where they didn't know they were missing it until they had a chance to get back into it, some of them. So just terrific stuff, and they've outshined even the loftiest expectations, I think, with the talent they've attracted to the league. It's really almost a who's who of women's basketball in the Atlantic region and outside the Atlantic region in some cases. So nice dish inside. Kerwin to Quackenbush on the roll. And Dr. Quackenbush kisses it off the glass with the left hand. Pretty stuff. Dime drops from these girls. That left-handed from Marley Kerwin, the UMB product, out of the Citadel in Halifax. Oh, and a nice behind the back there from Leah Bowers, and she's going to go to the line for 2 free throws. Nice move from her. Off the defense of Grace Wade. Pardon me, that's Katie Daly, excuse me, going to the line. And so, fans, if you're wondering what the schedule is, please go to the mwba.ca online for news and broadcast schedules and game schedules and everything for the entire league. But I'll give you the schedule for the weekend right now, too. In case you're Dave, I'm not in front of my computer. I don't have my phone on me. I'm listening to you. You tell me. So after this game is over at 3 p.m., Moncton will be playing the Windsor Edge. I'm looking at the right day. Moncton and Windsor at 5 p.m. Port City and Halifax at 7 tonight. As Quackenbush lays it up and in and takes the harm and makes the hoop anyway. She's going to the line to cap the conventional three-point play and push this lead up to a new game high of 18 points if she makes this one, which of course will mean the Freeze will make a run back, but she rims out on the free throw, rebounded by Fredericton, coming back the other way. Back to Essen. She's going to attack on the left hand. Tamine rolls. It's not there. Swung all the way over. And a turnover. And Beals Isiemi with the Euro step and laying in. That's not as easy as it looks, folks. I know you see it on TV all the time. And as Essen reigns in a 3, comes right back. I know that Euro step. You have to work hard to get that as down pat as Beals Isiemi has it, and she has worked hard on her game. Back the other way come the Freeze. And Tori Janes into the game and that's a pull-up from Robbie Daly. She's long. She was hot when she came off the bench in the first half, but she misses that long-range one. Quackenbush carves out space, doesn't get it. Wade swings to Beals Isiemi all the way to the corner. Popping that 3 is Melina Collins back on the floor for The Thunder, she made one of those in the first half. Back rim this one. Essen on the attack. She gets into the lane, lays it in, and hits the floor. Paying the price for 2 points is Nicole Essen, but back the other way come the Thunder to lay it in, and that's Marley Kerwin. The action fast and furious in the Harrison Trimble Gymnasium here in the second half of this first game of the weekend showcase. Maritime Women's Basketball Association, Tumwine going to work. She's got a bevy of moves and she uses them against Quackenbush. Quackenbush going, where's the foul? Felt like she played her straight up, but Tumwine, she's going to go to the line for 2. Into the game for Fredericton is Bailey Black. And Haley McDonald back into the game also. And Tumwine makes the first. The lead back down to 16. Chance to bring it to 15. It's been in that area for a real long time, anywhere from 12 to 17. Really since the later stages of the first quarter. Just Freeze not able to get enough stops to get a run together. The Thunder, and now they drop back into that zone. Thunder rained in some threes in the first half on it. This time Quackenbush finds a weakness on the baseline, and she forces herself right into McLeod, and she's going to go to the line for 2 free throws herself. Misses on the first. And the number of kids in the stands right now has warmed my heart a little bit. You see all these kids from all these players getting to watch their moms play high-level hoops. It's pretty cool to watch. A lot of these players come up the floor at halftime, couldn't get to the locker room. They had to give some hugs out first before they got there. And the players coming to the next game, a lot of them toting kids. It's fun to watch. McLeod long on a 3. Wade, she's pushing it back hard. Not there, decides to pull it back out. McDonald swings it over. Melina Collins. Quackenbush to Wade, back to Quackenbush. Did it get tipped? Referee Stalker saw a tip, and it's going to stay here with the Thunder. More substitutions. Pickard back into the game. So Pickard, Wade, Langell, Gemma Bullard, and McDonald. And it's McLeod, Essen, Robbie Daly, Bailey Black, and a turnover there. Essen going back the other way. She's got Black on her left. She takes it all the way right. That's a difficult finish at that speed. Avoids the long arms of Vanessa Pickard and lays it in. That's good stuff from Nicole Essen. She's brought her A game today. She's been terrific. Knocks that ball out of bounds. Grace Simpson is the 5th on the floor for the Freeze as I reset. Had a strong first half for the Freeze. Did Simpson. Langell on a nice take. Ooh, Simpson went for the block. Gave her a good shot, though, put her on the line. Langell I've been super impressed with on the live streams. She's been wonderful. She's super active defensively. She hedges and recovers hard and just knows spots to get to offensively. She's not moving. She's not the quickest player in the league, but she knows what she's doing when she puts the ball on the floor. She does everything with a purpose. She's got good feet, good hands. She's just one of these just tremendous players surrounding these talented offensive guards and forwards that just kind of blends in and does her job and does it really well. Does Langell. Look at that crossover from Essen. You got to finish that one with an and one. Loses. Gemma Bullard. And lays it in. Boy, the killer crossover. Worthy of Tim Hardaway, a little UTEP two-step from Nicole Essen. I can't say enough about that move. That would have had the crowds in Oracle Arena and Golden State on their feet. My goodness. Doesn't finish the three-point play. That's okay, Nicole. I was entertained enough by the move. You didn't need to make the free throw for me. That's just extra sauce. Man, that was pretty. Kerwin finds Langell. Langell's going to pop a three. Too long. Simpson tries to corral it, but it bounces to Kerwin. Tried to get it inside. Kicked by Simpson. Oh boy, that's going to be a replay I go back and watch. I've saved the time code, Nicole Essen. I'm going to go back and check out that move again. They run their little picket fence play a little bit there for Vanessa Pickard, but well played by Essen. She's a terrific defender as well as the offensive talent you've seen out of her. Pickard well defended there by McLeod. Forced up a wild one. Really bellied her up, did McLeod. Look at that hesitation from Simpson. Nice move, just wasn't able to finish. Back comes Vanessa Pickard. Hasn't gotten her game off in the second half, but in the first half, get out your umbrellas. Pickard's in the arena, and she showed why. Beauty, well shared the ball there by the Thunder. And they found Gemma Bullard in the corner. Did Laura Langell. Again, the little things. Could have had a shot. Gave up a good one to get a better one. That's how you play. Look at that block on McLeod from Langell. Woo, the eraser. And McLeod is frustrated today. Not her strongest game of the season so far. And she'll tell you the same thing. Langell with the up fake on McLeod. Burns the whole freeze defense and gets to the rim and lays it in. And it's the Laura Langell show right now here for the Hornets. Freeze, again, not able to convert one. Back the other way, and the hesitation that time for Marley Kerwin wasn't able to finish. The lead's now 19, 71-52, 109 clock running third quarter. The freeze, it's kind of a do-or-die situation here. They've got, and a beautiful play from McLeod. Essen on the cut. McLeod, such a pretty pass, just so talented at the top of that key, can do so much, put the ball on the floor, shoot, and pass too, and wonderful defense there from Bailey Black, frustrating Haley McDonald and forcing a push-off. And McDonald, she's saying she's being physical with me, having a chat with referee Brent Stocker. That looked clean the whole way. She just frustrated her. Good old-fashioned, just got in her shorts and pushed off to make some space, and a little too hard. Wonderful stuff from Black. Inadvertent buzzer. Play continues. They're playing again through McLeod. The fake handoff. Dribbled off her foot, though, out of bounds. Well played by Langell. Langell knows, kind of has a sixth sense today for McLeod, probably because she uses the same tricks herself. They're very similar players. McLeod, a couple more things in the toolbox offensively, but tough, smart, and fundamental, both those players. So kind of mirror images of each other, and Langell's kind of gotten the better of McLeod today for the most part. Using the screen is Marley Kerwin. Up for two, back rims it. And Pickard, I think, is going to get called for the foul. Yeah, a couple of touchy things there of late from our refereeing staff, but Pickard's having a good laugh about that one. She really thought it wasn't enough contact. I didn't see it myself, but a couple of calls lately, the ladies have been rolling their eyes. But another thing you see in this league is the level of positivity, not just the talent, not just the entertainment value, but the positivity from the fans and the coaches and the referees and the players. There's not a lot of, you don't see a lot of yapping at the referees. There's been a couple of tees in the league this year, but not very many. Been well behaved. As Grace Wade tries to rainbow in a three, Pickard comes out of nowhere to pull that one in. They're going to have to get one in up against the clock. In and out at the buzzer was Marley Kerwin. And they go to the break up 71-55. Still a comfortable lead, but can't quite fully shake the freeze. Can the Hornets? Every time they make it threatened to go to 20. They had a couple possessions there where they could have pushed the lead to 20, but wasn't done. So they still got a fourth quarter, still got a fighting chance through the freeze. So fans, a couple of things I want to bring up. First of all, the upcoming schedule. So I said today, 5 p.m. Moncton, Windsor, 7 p.m. Port City and Halifax. Those are our next two games. Tomorrow at 11 a.m., Fredericton and Windsor are going to square off. Then at 1 is Port City and Halifax, and 3 is the Moncton Mystics and Halifax Hornets. Then next week on Thursday night, 2 games. Fredericton is here in Moncton against the Mystics, and Halifax Thunder are in Windsor. So 7:30 is the Moncton game here, 7 o'clock is the Windsor game. And next weekend, Saturday and Sunday, the regular season rounds out with Halifax at Windsor on Saturday at 2. And Sunday, Moncton is in Fredericton at Leo Hayes High School at 2 p.m. Excuse me, fans. So then that paves the way for the weekend spectacular in Halifax. Championship weekend at St. Mary's on the June 24th, 26th, the next weekend. So that's everything, fans. And that's going to be – and shout out to Maritime Athletic Profiles, who's doing the games in Nova Scotia. You guys have been terrific. All the announcers have been terrific. Vince Williams there in Halifax. And Gail Rice on the calls there a couple times. So, yeah, well done, guys. And a couple things. One thing I want to mention, fans, and it's not for nothing. It's really not connected to anything that's going on in this gym, but it's out there in the world, and I think it's a responsibility of everyone broadcasting basketball games, particularly female ones, to mention the name Brittany Griner on the air, and I want to do that now. I'm going to do that a few times this weekend. You know, free Brittany Griner is a common refrain online right now. If you don't know why, I encourage you to check it out. One of the best basketball players, bar none, in the world is in prison in Russia and shouldn't be. And, yeah, so visibility to that. And I know the league would join me in that, knowing their principles. I want to get that out there. And also, we lost someone this week in Moncton in New Brunswick basketball, Fran McHugh, who was a official coach, all-around good guy, passed away this week, and I know that's affected a lot of people in and around this league. Just a nice man who dedicated his life to the sport of basketball and other sports too. He was a baseball official, but he was a really good basketball coach. Coached me for basketball in New Brunswick back in the day. Refereed the high school championship game in 1994, Riverview High School, my school against the Harrison Trimble. And so, yeah, he's affected a lot of lives in this sport. So I just wanted to give a shout out to Franny. Franny, wherever you are, you're a good dude. Grace Wade to Catherine Quackenbush. And Quackenbush has been terrific today. This is the most minutes I've seen her play in a Thunder game. And she's been just wonderful. She still is a terrific offensive and defensive player. And Bailey Black on the penetration, laying it in with the right hand on the baseline. Good stuff from her, brings the lead right back down to 16. Little horn set here at the top from Thunder. On a beautiful screen and roll. Oh, but a nice recovery there from Jill Durling. And she's going to put Catherine Quackenbush on the line. Up for 2, but that was a nice horn. You see that a lot in the modern game, that horn set. It's basically a 1-4, and they run a lot of actions out of it, do these teams, but common one you see is just that. Just pick one of the top, one of the two players at the high post, get them the ball, and then either run some actions off of that, whether it's a dribble handoff, whether it's a rub screen, whether it's whatever it is. And Beals Siemi ran a nice little rub screen, roll off of that, and a good feed from Quackenbush, and that's a 2-pointer, foot on the line from Robbie Daly. She had that stroke goal in the first quarter, and Freeze fans will be happy to see she got it back for that one. They're going to need a lot more of those, but mostly they're going to need some stops at this end if they hope to get back in this game, and that is a difficult job ahead of you when you're talking about these Hornets. They got to stop it. They turned it right back over. Vanessa Picker played wide out on that one and collected the pass. Grace Wade on the penetration, but a nice block there from Katie Daly, sending it into their advertising on the floor at the end line here. Well done, well recovered there from Katie Daly on Grace Wade. She's not easy to stop when she gets ahead of steam. And good denial there by the Freeze, forcing Beals Siemi to step onto the court. So they got a chance here to bring it back under 15. They haven't been able to sustain. They've been kept the lead at this amount, fans, as I've mentioned many times throughout this broadcast. They just haven't gotten it back to the inside 10 in a long, long time. And a missed turnaround there on the baseline from Daly. And Wade with a little push off there. Didn't get called. Tori Janes defending her well, and Tori Janes collecting that rebound. Good toughness from Janes on that defensive possession. Daly inside. Tamwine carves out some space. Oh, just a little strong on the turnaround, but not able to collect it. Or the Thunder and the Freeze are going to maintain possession. And Black is going to key it in to Tamwine. She swings it to Janes. Oh, well defended there from Durling. They were running that play to the corner to get looking for an open shot for Katie Daly. Marley Kerwin saw it coming, and Fredericton's going to call a timeout. A couple other little housekeeping thing I wanted to mention here too, fans. The Now's the Time pod. So Thunder players, Haley McDonald, Ellen Hatt, who's not here this weekend, do a tremendous job with that pod. And they talked a lot about that subject I was talking about earlier, how fans, how these players, when their career ends, they feel that disconnect, that, gosh, what do I do now? I've done this my whole life. I've worked so hard to get to a spot. I'm not playing professional anywhere. What am I doing? And you lose your identity a little bit, and it's been really interesting to hear the discussions on that pod. So if you're a podcast listener like I am, seek it out. The Now's the Time podcast. Haley McDonald and Ellen Hatt. It's great stuff. So fans, and again, I want to mention our league sponsors, founding sponsors, Royale and Medavie. Can't say enough good things about them and how they've contributed to bringing this league to life. And it was breathed to life a few years ago by there's so many names I can't mention, but we'll get into I'm familiar with the Mystics end of things and the yeoman's work that they've done in this city to get this league going. And I know there's 5, 6, 7 innumerable names that we can mention in Windsor and in St. John, Fredericton, and Halifax that have done the same. And so shout out to all our sponsors, and particularly Royale and Medavie. Thank you for all the work you've done to bring this league into existence. Robbie Daly, little elevator screen there for her. It closed up fast, that elevator, and she turned it over, looking for Grace Simpson on that roll. Wasn't there. McDonald, on the push. And attacking is Melinda Collins. She attacked that closeout well, found an open partner in the corner. Back, rimming it there. And out of bounds, it's going to stay with the Hornets. Bullard with the long, was a little bit long on that jumper, but the Thunder have this bevy of wings that with experience and length and the ability to put the ball on the floor and beat their man and finish at the rim and make threes. It's a luxury, that's for sure. So when they don't have shot creators in the backcourt like McDonald, they got, Bullard and Collins creating havoc, and a turnover right back and a fake from McDonald. Took off her wrong foot. Doesn't matter. She's got so many springs in those legs of hers. She took off on the wrong foot, hung up in the air for plenty of time to finish that layup, and then push the lead back to 18. Tamwine, errant shot. Right back to the Thunder, and now the Thunder are starting to get comfortable here, I would think. This lead now out to 18 as we approach 6:45 to play in the closing quarter here, the Harrison Trimble Gymnasium. MWA's Maritime Women Basketball Association Showcase weekend here in Moncton. Wanted another push off there to Darceneau. Didn't get it this time, but McDonald missed the open three. Back the other way comes Tori Janes. Finds its way to the corner, and that is good. And Nicole Essen is having herself a second half. Then the best player on the floor for the Freeze and brings it back to 15. One last push. Did the Freeze have it? And Pickard felt like she was being bodied up pretty good on that baseline, but the referees have let them play for the most part here today. And she's going to check out. Nope. Yes, she is. For Bielsa-Siemi. She's back in. So is Bailey Black now for Fredericton. The lead is 15. 6:05, clock running fourth quarter. Esson's going to try another one. Oh, if that one had gone down, we'd have gotten interested a little bit. Comes up short, though. Just haven't been able to get that extra push to get over the hump to make things a little bit more interesting. The Thunder really, I feel like they've had their hands full since the first quarter. I think things could have got comfortable fast. That makes things a little more comfortable. Haley McDonald, always on balance. It's amazing. She's always on balance. Despite how hard she plays, how she throws her body around the floor, she's always on balance. And those are harder threes than they even appear to be on screen. And she makes them with regularity. But Ava Tumwine wheeling and dealing inside. And she and Tumwine going back to the line for the Freeze. And Tumwine up and in again for she's 2 for 2 at the line, brings the lead back to 16. Oh, a nice step in there from Simpson. Good stuff there. Langell thought she had that beat easy. Emily McLeod back in for the Freeze again for this final push. She hasn't had her best game, but any best lineup of the Freeze involves her on the court. Bielsa-Siemi misses a three, rebounded there by Arsenault. She's going to push. She's got Essen on the wing. She's got McLeod there, and she's going to go inside. A little too strong. Rebounded by Langell. Back into the hands of McDonald. McDonald now against Arsenault. Gets to Bielsa-Siemi, running that horns look again, and it's back to McDonald. Back rims a three, rebounded by Bailey Black, and she's going to push. Almost stolen there by McDonald. Arsenault, though, pulls up for two, misses, back rim, gets her own rebound. She dances in the lane and up for two. And the Freeze are going to call, or pardon me, the Thunder are going to call another timeout. Back to within 14 are the Freeze again. Do they have one more push left in them? So fans, now it gets to the time of game where we have to start looking at players of the game. So I'm going to take my time with it. This is tough when you're watching a game by yourself and you're so focused on the game action. Sometimes you lose track of who's done the most good stuff on the floor. I'm going, oh darn, am I going to pick the wrong player of the game? And you know what? Chances are there's a good chance that I will. Let's be honest, fans. There's a good chance that I will. However, I'm going to try to do my best here. So there's lots of candidates on both sides. I'm going to name some from the Fredericton Freeze. I think Nicole Esson's been terrific. And I think she's going to be my choice. I'm just running through names in my head. Grace Simpson had some good moments today. Obviously, Robbie Daly made some shots. Bailey Black had some moments. I think I'm going to be going with Nicole Esson from the Fredericton Freeze. If anybody out there has a large disagreement, again, I'm Hoops Tingley on Twitter and on Instagram. You come find me and say hi. Let me know how it's going. Let me know if there's anything, any feelings you have about things. And we'll get in discussions on the Thunder player of the game momentarily as Quackenbush comes to the half court and helps break that press. She's a candidate, certainly, from the Thunder, as is Grace Wade, as is, of course, McDonald and Langell as well. They've all had terrific games. I might go with Dr. Quackenbush personally. But am I blinding myself to the fact that has the great play of Haley McDonald just blinded me to the fact that she's terrific every single game? As a turnover call there on Melinda Collins, we'll give it back to the Freeze, and they have a chance to shrink this lead yet again. Ava Tamwine has also been terrific for Freeze. I'd like to give 2 for the Freeze, to her and to Nicole Essen, but I think I'm going to go Nicole Essen, and a missed layup there by Simpson to bring it to 12. That was a good chance, but nice, well defended there from Bailey Black, just not able to collect. And it's out of bounds remaining with the Thunder. Grace Wade will key it in. Coming to meet it is Melinda Collins. Collins, she's going to try a 3, wide right. And back comes Nicole Essen. She's going to try to beat Collins' baseline. She does. Oh, and she finds Arsenault on the cut. Well-timed cut from Arsenault, and she's going to go to the line for 2 free throws to bring this back to a dozen. So this game isn't over yet, fans. I know you're going to want to go get an iced tea, get a nice cold beer, get a little meal in between here, these games. Don't leave this one early yet. Net barely moved on that one from Arsenault. Back to 13. And 2 for 2. And met at half court is Quackenbush, dribbles out of it. She gets it back to Kerwin and swung all the way back around to Kerwin up top. She finds Beals Siemi inside for the finish and 1. Another dime drop from Marley Kerwin. She hasn't gotten on the scoreboard very much herself, but her ball movement today has been terrific. She's dropped a couple of really, really impressive dimes, and that was another one to Beals Siemi, who's another candidate for POG. And the POG fans, this isn't anything to sniff at. This isn't just your standard T-shirt. The Player of the Game packs this weekend are terrific, and I'll get into that in the stop in the action. McLeod with a chance to get on the board, and she does. She's been quiet, as I've talked about, not her normal self. But that one is a big shot, brings it back to 13. Still hope for the Freeze. Still extending that defense a little bit. Quackenbush doesn't need to be the outlet that time. Catches the ball at the free throw line, finds Wade. Up to Beals Siemi. Into Quackenbush, and she lays it in. And I think I'm going to go with Quackenbush for Player of the Game. I'm doing it. Dr. Quackenbush, you deserve it. Been terrific on both ends of the floor. Again, the ball movement. I'm definitely tempted to go with Haley McDonald, but I think maybe I'm just blinded from her regular excellence maybe a little bit. But a nice finish there by Simpson. Back to 13. Another bit, needs some stops. And right now, but Beals Siemi on the attack. Not able to finish, doesn't get any contact. Freeze now have a chance with a 3 to bring this back to 10. They need to run their stuff quickly. McLeod, she's going to try that for sure, and she does, and it's down. And it's a 10-point game here in the Harrison Trimble Gym. Here come the Freeze. The Thunder forced to call timeout. And I mentioned, fans, those POG packs, nothing to sneeze at. You get a Royale Coffee thermos. You get some type of estate wine from Magnetic Hill Winery. I'm going to have to go to Judy Vautour, my good friend at the Mystics, and get the pronunciation on the Osceola by the Sea Estate White from Magnetic Hill Winery. A Lush Bath Bomb, 1 month supply of Karen Phytoplankton, who's a great sponsor of the Moncton Mystics, and a water bottle from Skills Canada NB, a really nice one. Not your, no plastic. So this is a pack you want to win. So I'm going to be, all weekend, I'm going to be getting snide looks and remarks probably from players that felt they deserved it with this pack that they could win. Hopefully not, but I'm going to get snide looks anyway. Let's face it, I'm me. So 10-point game here, fans, as we reset. 2:26 on the clock. Our first game here from, excuse me, from our showcase weekend here in the Hub City, Moncton, New Brunswick, from the Harrison Trimble High School Gymnasium. And it's been a terrific show in Game 1, and you're going to see 5 more terrific shows this weekend if you remain on the call with me all weekend. I don't know if that's an attraction or not, that you're going to be staying with me. Hopefully later in the weekend we're going to have some people join me on the call, at least to chit-chat for a few minutes if they don't want to come and do the whole game. Some of you chickens out there that didn't want to join me, and you know who you are. But hopefully it's been hopefully I've added to the entertainment, not taken away from it today, fans. So Grace Wade on a big possession here now for the Thunder. They want to take some time off the clock. They want to get a good shot, and that's always a good shot. But Vanessa Pickard wide left, unlike her, and now the Freeze got a chance to bring it to single digits, just a little too high from McLeod to Eva Tumwine. And she's talking to the bench going, man, what did I do? Well, forget it. You put your head down and you get another stop. And they're going to need it. Pickard now using the screen of Bullard. Too smart. She knows to use all the clock. Bullard's going to pop a three, and it's wide right. Langell not able to run it down and keep it in bounds, so another chance for the Freeze to bring this down to single digits. You got to figure, and now a timeout for Fredericton. So Coach John Hickey in there. He's going to run his best play here. I have no doubt it's going to involve Ms. McLeod at the top of the key. I'd be shocked if it didn't. So fans, let me finalize my player of the game picks for the wonderful and talented staff here of the Moncton Mystics. Miss Shannon Parley joining me here. So I have finalized my player of the game. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to stop overthinking it here. There we go. I'm going with Nicole Essen, fans, and Catherine Quackenbush. Come at me on social media if you want, but I felt they were terrific for their teams today. Nicole Essen, she deserved it purely for that killer crossover that left lingerie on the deck, as my favorite color man Billy Packer would say. But yeah, she was terrific. And Catherine Quackenbush, I mean, look, you can go Vanessa Pickard. But she went cold in the second half. She was tremendous in the first half, but you know that's the story with the Hornets. You can Thunder, pardon me. Well, the Hornets too, but the Thunder in particular, you can shut down, turn off the water to one person, but there's several faucets for them to turn on. And I just thought Catherine Quackenbush was terrific on both ends of the floor and created so many things in the half court for the Thunder. But Vanessa Pickard and Haley McDonald probably both got robbed, but I'm willing to take the heat on that. Dr. Quackenbush was great. And there's Essen on the runner, and she brings it down to 8. And we got a game, folks. Essen with the run and jump. Wasn't able to get it. Pickard, long pass, well run down there by Marley Kerwin. Under control is Kerwin. She's been that way all game. Wade now looking to penetrate. Back out to Vanessa Pickard. And Pickard on the reach in. She's not going to go to the line, pardon me, fans. It's going to be a side out of bounds. Now that comes into play a little bit, because if the lead, it's under a minute here, the Freeze are going to want to put the Thunder on the line, and they're going to have to foul 2 more times to get there. That's when you say to your players at the huddle, look, be physical defensively, make the referees make a call, because a foul is not hurting us at this point. Worst case scenario, they side out of bounds, and then if the game gets under a minute and you got to start fouling, you can put them right on the line and get it back. Physical defense there from Arsenault. She's done all game on Haley McDonald. Leading in, doesn't go. Coach Parker Regan wanted a foul. Sorry fans out there. I'm trying to see around the fans here and call the game at the same time. It's tough, but I see that McLeod's got it in the corner. Oh, short rims it. And Beals-Assamian with the big board. That would have been huge. Would have brought it to 6. 50 seconds left, and now McDonald, she's going to pull that back out. She's too smart to take that bait from Tumwine. Which now the crossover. She finds Beals-Assamian. She's going to attack with the right hand. She's blocked, but she's going to go to the line. And now I think, fans, you can, out there in Halifax of the Thunder, I think now you can finally start to feel comfortable. These Thunder were pesky today. Mosquitoes wouldn't go away. But I think now finally the Thunder have put them to bed. Tumwine here at the line. 2 shots. She misses the first. It's an 8-point game here. 29 seconds on the clock. And some players and their kids go shuffling by. And some of these Mystics players' kids wearing "That's My Mom" t-shirts. And it's about the cutest thing I've ever seen. I'm not going to lie to you, fans. Oh, nice pass. Beautiful stuff from McLeod into Tamwine. He brings it back to 6. They're going to have to put him on the line. Essence got to get over there and attack and put somebody on the line. They've wasted a lot of time. Still haven't put her on. Still no fouls. Still haven't fouled. I'm not sure what Fredericton's doing, but they've played it out, honest. And now, Haley McDonald with one last 3 at the buzzer, finishes it in style, pushes that winning margin out to 9 points. Pardon me, no, it's not a buzzer, it's a timeout, not the end of the game, fan. Sorry, people. My venue point here is right at the entrance to the gym. And so at the end and beginning in games, I'm probably going to get some traffic here in front of me that I'm going to have to fight around. I'm going to have to get a traffic cop in here maybe to keep my eye line clear. So 4 seconds left in the game. McDonald pushed that lead out to 9 with that shot from the corner, and further fuel in the fire of the why didn't she get player of the game people out there, I'm sure. But so fans, stick around please for the next couple games. If you've tuned into this one and enjoyed yourselves, please come back for our second game here, which is going to be about 20 minutes after the finish of this one. I think they'll give them the full 20, and it'll be Moncton and Windsor, and then follow that. The nightcap is going to be Port City and Halifax. So please, fans, stay with us. This is going to be, if you were entertained by this game, and I know you were, if you were watching the whole thing, you got 2 more good ones in front of you. I can't argue if you're listening back to this later because you're out in the sunshine enjoying it today. I can't get mad at you if you're doing that. But listen, fans, it's been fun, and it's going to be fun all weekend, and I'm glad it's so exciting to be part of it. So when the ball comes in bounds, Ava Tumwine at the buzzer, she misses. Beals to Sayemi collects that rebound, and that's how she ends, folks, 88-79. The Thunder still undefeated on the season. The Freeze dropped to 3-4. They got another chance tomorrow with a more full squad, I would mention, against Windsor back here at 11 a.m. tomorrow. And Thunder fans, you're back here against Port City Fog at 1 p.m. So thanks again, fans, for joining us. The final here, Game 1, 88-79. The Thunder over the Freeze. We'll see you back here in 20 or 25.
Your player of the game from Fredericton, number 12, Nicole Essen. And your player of the game from Halifax, that felt like I had her name on a recording there, number 8, Catherine Quackler. So once again, folks, thank you, Royale, thank you to Medivy, our crowning partners. And I want you to stick around for our next game. We're going to have Windsor against your home